planning to travel to Mui Ne, this place really is all about the beach. Mui Ne is about 220 kilometers north of Saigon, along Highway 1. It's probably not Vietnam's most beautiful beach, but it is one of the easiest to access from Saigon. It's about 3-4 hours by car and by rail, or by rail, and it's a delightful little spot.
Mui Ne is popular with locals and Saigon expats on weekends, but also during holidays, and prices can spike up in holiday times as well, so check your dates. Kitesurfing's been a big driver of travel to Mui Ne in recent years. It's now one of Asia's most popular kitesurfing destinations. The best months for kitesurfing are between November and April. Keep those months in mind as well if you're not into kitesurfing, because the kitesurfers make a pretty big impact on the place when they're in town. I was last in Mui Ne in May and it was perfect. Very hot, the beach was glorious, and it was low season, so it was very quiet too.
The most difficult problems that Mui Ne faces is its erosion, its beach erosion. This beach disappeared about 6-7 years ago. It's actually come back because I believe they built a seawall somewhere. But the other end of this beach, the northern end, where there are also plenty of resorts, has completely disappeared, and it's kind of hard to imagine that it could ever come back. They've built concrete walls, which I understand, once you build them, you actually make it harder. You do protect your land, but you make it harder for the sand to ever return. So a lot of the resorts up there, if you're planning on staying in Mui Ne, make sure your resort actually has a real beach, because they have the beach front, but it's possible that it won't actually have a beach. And unfortunately, a lot of the travel websites won't make it very clear. They may say right on the beach, when in fact what it is right on a concrete wall.
Mui Ne is mainly about the beach, but if you want to get into a bit of exploration, there are some things to do around town as well. The local seafood will definitely be a highlight. There are some great little local seafood eateries along the beach. And around Mui Ne there's an ancient Cham ruin and also an old French colonial era fortress. And there are some very cool little villages and towns nearby as well.
Mấy giờ về?
7 giờ, 8 giờ. Bữa nay 5 tiếng rồi mà chưa rồi.
These sand dunes have become a bit of a hit with travellers over the years as well.
These are the red sand dunes of Mui Ne. Going to take a run down this hill on one of these little slides. Okay.
How strong? Be careful.
Well, that was fun.
In the afternoon, I headed north up to the white sand dunes, the other sand dunes, and the Lotus Lake, which also seems to be called the White Lake. I had hoped to head up there by bicycle, but I couldn't find a bicycle that was sort of up to the task. In Mui Ne, all the bikes I could find were just those very cheap sort of $60 bikes that are okay for riding around town, but they're not really good for a serious ride. It's a shame, because it's a beautiful stretch of coast, and it'd be a lovely bicycle ride, because there's not a lot of traffic, so hopefully you'll have more luck finding nice bikes than I did.
This is the White Lake, also known as the White Sand Dunes, about 40 k's north of Mui Ne. Pretty amazing landscape actually, especially this afternoon with some cloud, and incredible. Check it out. Mr. Dũng, you've done a great job. Anh Dũng lái xe rất tốt. Anh quay lại cũng cẩn thận nhá. Được không?
Dạ.
Cảm ơn anh. Farewell to the white sand dunes behind me there.
For more independent travel info on Mui Ne and Vietnam, click here or check out rustycompass.com. Thanks very much.